Hello and welcome to the Sunbirdcrochet podcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from Germany. Today is the 6th of April, Easter Monday, and maybe you've seen that I've already posted 2 videos about my Easter weekend. So this is the crafty side of my free time this weekend, and I have for you today one finished crochet project, one sewing project finished, one sewing project as a work in progress, and a little bit of incoming. Let's start with crochet. I finished today my Hexagon cardigan, and when I say finished, I mean that I still have to sew in the ends, but it's done. I will add a little bit of me twirling around in this cardigan at the end of this video. So if you would like to know how the fit looks like, then please watch till the end. The construction is like this. You are crocheting 2 hexagons. Hexagon is a 6-sided geometric shape, and you are crocheting 2 of those, which when you continue crocheting both, then you can add them together to form a cardigan. Depending on the size of your finished hexagons, you have to add a little panel or a little area of crochet on the back of your cardigan, and then you can join that as well, and then you add length to it. And I've done that. I've also added a bit of a shaping here. I've increased the number of stitches so that it has a little bit more space for my hip area. I didn't do any shaping to the rest of it, so it's a fine fit. I've added a front post, back post, double crochet border to the bottom, and then I've added a moss stitch border to the, this side, which goes here, button band I suppose, but I haven't added any buttons. And while I was doing that, going back and forth, I've also decreased at these 2 areas of a cardigan so that it forms nicely around my neck. I then added 1 more row of the granny stitch chain 1, well, 3 double crochet cluster chain 1, 3 double crochet cluster chain 1, etc. And then in the next round I made 1 single crochet chain 1. I skipped the cluster and I've made again the next single crochet in the next space, chain 1, and then single crochet in the next space, and so on and so on. So like this, I've gathered the sleeves together to make it a nice size, and at the same time I've also started a moss stitch border, or a cuff in this case. And let me put it on for you so you can see that the cuff has the perfect width. Trial and error by accident, I don't know. But yeah, I've also made it a continuous round moss stitch so that I don't have a ladder, so to say, forming. So it's a nice and neat, clean cuff. And I'm very happy with this cardigan. It's also very hot today, so as I said, I will add a complete look at the fit at the end of this video. Yeah, not much else to say. I'm considering adding some gold buttons just for decoration, not for functioning buttons, because I haven't made any buttonholes, although I can always squeeze the buttons in here into the chain 1 spaces, but I don't think I will ever need buttons to close the cardigan. I always prefer wearing them open as they are. Let me show you the shaping of the neck here. Can you see that? I've decreased stitches in this area here. So I'm very pleased with how this fits, and I will get lots of wear out of this. I've used an 8mm hook size, and I held 3 strands of yarn together, so this is a real great stash buster. The cardi is quite bulky, but I'm just happy. This was a very rewarding project. Now, my next project, finished project, is right there on the wall. It's a sewing project, or an applique quilting project. I've made a landscape including a hare, and I was using a fusible double-sided mesh which you can iron on. You first take your fabric, you iron it onto the mesh with the fusible thing, and that fusible stuff is it's like interfacing, but on the other side there's paper, so when you iron the fabric onto it, it won't iron completely through onto the surface of your table or whatever you're using. And then once the fabric is onto that fusible mesh, you can cut out the shapes you want to use, and you peel off the paper on the back, and then you can iron that onto another fabric. And like this, I've created a landscape, English countryside landscape, so to say, with a hare in a field, and there are flower bushes in the front, in the foreground, and I will just show you. If you're interested in seeing the process of it, watch the video of Friday, Easter Friday, which is called Faffing Around, Easter weekend faffing around, sewing and faffing around, something like that. And I've enjoyed that project so much. Oh, I should say that after ironing it on, I also used my new sewing machine, the Bernat B77, not sponsored. I'm getting the hang of it, and I've used it to sew the lines in the sky in a normal, straight, simple line. And the field and the bushes I've made in a zigzag stitch, and I've used that to pin it all together so that it doesn't come apart in the future. Also, I've put it in a frame so it won't get, well, it's quite protected in there already. Saying I enjoyed this project so much that I've already started my next one. Let me show it. Let me show it to you. I'm using a felted fabric for the background, and then I've made this landscape. Let's start it with sky. So this is a batik fabric, and the moon is from a different fabric. I've applied that on. Then I had this here, the fox with a little hare sleeping together, and I cut off the border, which then was used to form the line of trees and bushes up here. And then I had this fabric with the Glühwürmchen. What are they called? Fireflies. With the fireflies, I've added this fabric, and I cut out shapes like here, like bushes. So you would see that it's bushes surrounding the sleeping area of the fox. This fabric here, by the way, is a salvaged piece of clothing which I found at a second-hand store for €1. It was a man's jacket in tweed. You can see the tweed fabric there. I really liked that, and I'm reusing that. I've added a little bit of spacer in here, and then I cut out big leaves here in the foreground, so it's like we are dividing the bushes and leaves, and we can see the little fox sleeping in the center. I still have to do the stitching, and I might be creative and I will use stitching which you can actually see properly in green colors. Maybe I will use white here, and I will go across the moon so that it looks a little bit like foggy dew in the morning. I haven't made up my mind yet, but this will become more cohesive with the stitching, I believe. And I'm really happy with this one as well. If you would like to know where to get such motif panels, I think it was an Etsy shop based in Poland, and they are, or maybe in Czechoslovakia. If you do want to know, just ask me and I will send you the link. Maybe that's the easiest. Yeah, so this is the next sewing project. Not quite finished yet. And that's it from me for the crafting side. I wanted to show you, oh, one more thing. I totally forgot to show you my finished blooming flower cushion. A while ago, I showed you that I had started it, and I think I made a reel which I posted on Instagram, but I never showed to you the proper flower cushion here on my podcast. So this is the front. This is a pattern by Lucy Attic 24 without the little popcorn flower bitty in the middle. Which I've added myself because I had a little bit of a gap there, or a little bit of a hole. And I made up the back myself. I decreased in regular intervals, and I filled it with a polyester jumper, which I wanted to get rid of anyway. So this is, I suppose I could wash it, but I don't expect that this will happen too much. And it's a little cushion which is decorative, and it's living here on my sofa as a blooming cushion. That's also the name of the pattern, I think. So that's that. So in a way I have two finished crochet projects. One finished sewing project, one sewing project in process, and then, as I said, incoming. And it's nothing new. This has been published in spring summer 2025. It's the latest Murat magazine, but I promised you to show it to you. I hadn't ordered it when it had been published back then, but now that they are picking up the issues again. Alison, who is behind this big project together with her friend Haley, they are continuing the lovely crochet magazine project, and I'm very thankful for that. Thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to the next issue. I know that probably now it's too late, but she had been calling out for designers, crochet designs for this, and there had been a mood board, and I'm looking forward to that issue. It's like crochet projects inspired by a night out with your best friends in Edinburgh. So maybe a cape, a poncho, wrist warmers, leg warmers, who knows? We will see what the designers are coming up with. This is the Murid magazine. It's the latest issue from last year, and on the front, this is Alison's husband. That's beside the point. He already has been in several other Murid magazine issues as a model, and he's wearing the Wellerman crochet jumper design, and this is my favorite project in the whole issue, I think. This is a unisex jumper, so you can make it for a woman or a man, and it's designed by Asya Zaslavska, and it has lovely details. Here you can see it, a little cabling details, crochet cables. I really love it. This here is Alison with her husband. She's wearing the jumper on this picture. So yeah, it's beautiful project. Very tempted to make it. There are lots of other crochet projects. I don't want to show them all to you, but the whole optic of this magazine is just to die for. This is a very high quality crochet magazine. It's one which you really want in your crocheting stash library. In this issue, there is also an essay on how to steek in crochet. I've done this before, made it up myself how I would go about for it, but if you are interested to learn how to steek in crochet, aka how to cut your crochet fabric so that it doesn't unravel, then yes, this is your issue of Murid magazine where you can learn it. What I would also enjoy making is Carrick Bend. That's a pair of fingerless mittens, or mitts, not mittens. Really beautiful. So I think this would be also one of the projects I can see myself doing. Many more in this issue. Well, half of the book is reserved for, so this half is photography and little essays, and this half is reserved for the patterns. I highly recommend this magazine. There are 8 magazines of this available. I think, well, you can get them digitally and you can get them physically, but the first issue has been sold out, and I think the second issue, there are only a few of those left, but you could always get them digitally. There aren't enough crochet designs out there published in beautiful independent magazines like this. I think this is pretty unique. But enough of incoming. I don't have much else to say to you. This has been a very busy weekend, and it had at the same time been a little bit of a breather for me, because work-wise it will become pretty much hectic until June, and then I hope to get more time for my crocheting again. So all that's left to do is to put on my new finished crochet cardigan and to show it to you. And I will say, have a lovely crocheting time yourself, and I will see you next time. Keep well, keep safe. Bye bye.